la monore, roti olojo te calcio. Ibere dopi ilea, ye tawaio, on koshosho, ni anwa taori. Ala faliko, lolete walon, eni bafe kobo. Monti soroti moni so ibekele eniyo ason lori asoni efi yobo shady oto onwere ti anse lole mwaye toro ronti yolojo ti kaljo kenyon tianwa tianfia jarawa taba wolotun tasiwo wolowosi alafia niko lolete walon eni bafe kobo moti soroti moni so.
Hi, good afternoon, everybody. I hope you're all well, and I hope you can all hear me loud and clear. Happy Thursday to you, Yappians. My name is Vidal Juba, and it's a real pleasure to be here with you guys today. I can see a whole lot of people online. Just say hello if you can hear me loud and clear. Just say, hey, Vidal, just to make sure that we're all good and technically sound to proceed. Actually, how many of you like that Holden music? I love the music. If you just to make sure you can hear me, just let me know if you can like the music. Just say I like the music. Okay, I can see welcome, sir. Welcome. First of all, I'm not sir. I'm way too young to be sir. So my name is Vidal. Thank you. No sirs here. Just Vidal is good. Great stuff. So let's get into it. Let's get straight into it. I hope I'm not shouting. First of all, I'd like to give a shout out to all of you Yappians. Funny enough, I've followed every single session that's been held here, and I have to give a shout out to my, should I say, predecessors. You know, the legendary Dr. Aken. You know, I've been listening to him, and he's inspirational. So shout out to you, Dr. Aken. Also, shout out to the Yappi team, those behind the scenes, the unsung heroes that make it happen every day and every week. I think it's such a fantastic initiative. So shout out to Del York, shout out to Yappi, shout out to Mastercard, everyone behind the scenes, the Obeys, the Henrys, the Sarahs, the Halimas, everybody. Thank you. So that being said, I'm talking to you today about animation beyond the norm. I'm going to give a bit of background into myself and just to let you know what I'm about, how I got to where I am, and why I'm speaking to you guys today. First of all, it's very awkward for me to talk about myself. That's one of the most awkward things. So please understand that everything I say about myself is leading somewhere. There's a story to it. There's a reason. I'm not just here to come and brag about the little that I've done. So there's a story about it. And the objective of today's session is to get you to think out of the box. At some point, you guys will get to a point where you're comfortable with the skill set that Yappi would have been able to give to you. And so what's left is your creative imagination and the audacity to think beyond the box. And I'm going to let you know how that has helped me. So let me start with my slides here. So, it's animation beyond the norm. And the first one is about myself. My name is Vidal Juba. I'm Nigerian. I'm British. I'm 35 plus. So don't get what's the word? Tricked by the young looks. I'm an old man. So basically I studied economics. And I suspect like a lot of the people on here, you probably have parents who wanted you to study something. There are people who wanted to be footballers and their parents are like, what kind of footballer? Are you okay? My friend, go and study to be a doctor. There's a lot of us who have parents who, if you're not a doctor, you're not a lawyer, you're not a, help me, put it in the comment box. If you're not a doctor, you're not a lawyer, you're not, what else? Engineer, you're not in a profession. How many of you have parents like that? Shout it out in the comment sections, because I definitely have parents like that. Let me see. How many of you parents wanted you to become another profession? Just put it out here, because as fate has it, you're out here as creatives and animators. Imagine that. There's a fellow economist here. So we are plenty in this place. Wow. Oh, you're just saying you're young. Pilot. One of you want to become a pilot. Imagine that. Architecture. Yep. Okay, so there's a lot of, okay. All right, so you guys are with me. But I went to study economics, just because my parents just wanted me to study something else. But I've always had a love for music. In fact, throughout university, when I went to university in London, in the UK actually, not London, Nottingham, and to study economics. But my love for music was so much that I would go and play as a session drummer on the weekends. Now, I might show my age a little bit when I say some of the artists that I played for back in the days, but they're the likes of like Amy Winehouse. There's a group called The Script, but also I was in a band with my brothers. It was like a Christian band with my brothers, but we're touring and we're doing a whole lot. So on the weekends, I would be touring Europe, flying out to Poland, this, that, and the other. And then on Sunday, I'm back. And on Monday, I'm back, studying to be an economist. And I hated it because I've always realized that I've always been a creative. But I had to do that to get through university. And that was what paid my way through university. I didn't have to take a lot of student loans like my friends because I would go and play drums, make some money, and go to university. In fact, I've got a small video here. Some of you guys, your data will suffer today. But I've got a video here just to show you how hard, how well we're doing. And I was in as a drummer. So this is one of the gigs that we did with my brothers. I've got 3 brothers, so there's 4 of us, and we were a band. And this is just one of the events that we did out in the UK. Anyways, yeah, I don't know what I did to the camera guy. He didn't show me to the end or on the drums, but anyway, you get the drift. So we were doing this music thing at a not at a novice level, at a serious level. So here's this Nigerian born in Nigeria, now in the UK, studying economics and playing music. I'm going somewhere with this. Anyway, so as time went on, we started, we were playing music, we are going on, and it was really great. It was doing well, but I realized that it couldn't sustain me in the things that we. Are you the one drumming? Yes, I am. Yeah. It couldn't sustain me in what I wanted to do. For so many people that want to jump out to the UK, I'm going to address that because, by the way, I'm a British Nigerian, so I have a British passport. I lived in the UK. I'm now in Nigeria, working and making money in Nigeria. So that should make you think, here's someone who can easily be in the abroad that they're always talking about, but I'm out here. Because UK is not as easy as they make it seem. I had finished university, there's rent to pay, there's this and that. Rent is about £2,000, which now is about, what, 2 million a month. You understand? So how many drums do you play? Unless you're now playing for, now maybe like a Burna Boy or, the top of the pops, So I realized that I needed to start getting some side hustles. Now, let me just give you a little bit about what I wanted to do. When I eventually started in the production area, what happened was I was in university and I wanted to put some events up. I used to put up concerts, small concerts here and there to make some, money. And I employed this videographer guy. He was a camera guy to come and film. And this is how I got into production, by the way. And he came, he filmed. By the time the guy did, he did rubbish, nonsense. I looked at the footage and as a Nigerian, I'm not paying for this. No, I'm not paying for this. Now, last week we spoke about the legal aspect of things. I had signed a contract with this guy. I did not put in a contract, it must look or feel this particular way, or the video must be this long, it must be this, that, and the other. So the guy was like, I don't care, that's your business, you're paying me. So, what did I do? I ended up in a lawsuit because the guy took our agreement and sued me. I was in university. The boy was in university and he sued me. I couldn't believe it. But you know what? That's what happens when you live in a country with structures. The court said, the guy came to do the work, you have to pay him. So that's why I said I saw shaggy, because I had to pay for work that I felt was not up to par. It was not up to par. And that day was the day that I decided that I am not going to let this happen to me anymore. So what did I do? I went on YouTube and I typed in how to edit. And YouTube is one of the greatest universities out there. I'm telling you, you learn so much. But anyways, I went to YouTube and I decided, how to edit. And I started learning. I had one old laptop I was using for work. And as you animators, we eventually find out about having a decent powered machine. May you not feel the frustration I went through. But anyway, I got this old laptop and started learning on YouTube how to edit Premiere Pro. Fine. Okay. I now got to a point where, as a business guy, I felt I was okay. I could do enough. There was a church I was attending. They were having a conference. I said, hey, let me cover this conference. I'll edit it for you. You guys can do, DVDs. I'm showing my age by saying DVDs, but I could do DVDs. I'll cover it. I'll film it. I'll edit it. And the pastor said, okay, yeah, we'll give you some money for it. So I got my first project. I went home, and in those days they used to capture on the camcorder with tapes. So you have to capture in real time. So conference that is 6 hours a day, 3 days, you are capturing for 18 hours, just looking at the thing, just capturing like that. We eventually captured. That took us like 2 days. And then editing, because I was still upcoming, as you would say. Something that should have taken me maybe a day or two to edit took me a full week. And then when it was time to render, to export it out, we're exporting, the laptop just crashed. The laptop didn't even come on. It gave up. Like, the laptop just went. I wanted to cry. Like, I wanted to cry. And so what did I do? That situation, remember the first situation was a lawsuit that got me into this situation. I decided, no, I'm not going to stick around. I don't have a father that's Dangote that'll go and buy me the best laptop. What can I do? So I had a friend who was working. So because she was working, she had credit. And I said to her, like, listen, I want to buy this laptop, this Apple laptop, so that I can really edit. But if you can pay small for me, I'll be paying you back the money. And she agreed, and that was how I got my first laptop. Okay, so that was how I started getting involved in production. So with that laptop now, I was able to now start learning animation. And for some of the OGs that might be on this group, you guys might have heard of a website called Video Copilot. Now, before the likes of Yappi came on board to come and help people like you and everyone else, we didn't have anybody to help us. And that's one thing I also want to say, guys. Realize one thing. Nobody is coming to help you. You have to help yourself. Just hold that, okay? Just hold that. So I had to help myself. I managed to get a laptop, and there was this website called Video Copilot. You should check it out. It was where all the animators of a certain generation will go and learn. This website had After Effects projects, and the After Effects projects will be there. They'll give you tutorials on how to, do animations like text coming out, pow, explosions, night to day, and then they'll give you the project where you can download it and then replicate what the tutorial did, so you learn how to do it. That's how a lot of us learned. We went to go and download on Video Copilot. Shout out to them. They saved lives, man. But anyways, I went on Video Copilot, and that's how I learned about animation, and then got into editing and so on and so forth. And so with this one now, I was now man about town. I started doing work for some people. I'll be calling anybody I know. Hey, do you need some animation for your video? No, I can do this. And then there was a friend of mine called Sonny Badu. Then, the guy is a big boy now. For those of you who are maybe Christians, you might have heard of Sonny. Sonny is the one that sang that song, Open the Floodgates in Abundance, Baba, oh. That song. Anyways, Sonny was doing his concert, and I like, hey, let me help you. I can do some, animations for the video. And I did. And I see someone saying Andrew Kramer. There's some OGs here. Who's that? Ezekiel Fire Easy. You are an OG. Anyways, so Sonny then invited me to a particular church. He was like, hey, he's Ghanaian. Hey, Vidal, I want you to help me do, when I come on stage, my name will just come, pow, Sonny Badu. I was like, that's nothing now. I got you, fam. So I went to the church, I did it. Everybody was bamboozled. He came on stage, we did this thing. And the pastor was very impressed. Like, okay, who did this thing? And he said, it's this guy. And so he came to me saying, hey, sorry, apologies. I forgot to put this on. Okay, sorry, I forgot to put my phone on silent. Can you imagine? Anyways, the pastor asked me to set up a media team. I set up a media team within 6 months. They were doing well. And he says, no, he wants to own a TV station. Somehow I knew some people who were selling a music station, and that's how he managed to get his TV station called Believe TV. Now, it was a Christian TV station, and then Christian TV stations were not making a lot of money. And so when he had this TV station, so I was there like, oh, great, congratulations, who's going to run it? And the guy looks at me like, is it not you? And this is another thing I want to tell you. There's a guy called Richard Branson. He's the owner of Virgin Atlantic. And he said, if someone gives you a fantastic opportunity and you're not sure you can do it, say yes first and work out how to do it later. And that's exactly what I did. I said, oh, great, I'll rise up to the challenge. And so I started running this TV station that I didn't know anything about, but I went to read up about it. You learn on the job. But the thing is, I'm very driven. So I made sure that I was doing everything. I'll look at what others have done. So I'll look at other TV stations. What they do, I will copy. When I'm in meetings, I don't know what they're saying. I will just, in fact, sometimes I'll record the meeting. I'll go and Google what things are later on. And the point of this is, this at this point doesn't have anything to do with animation. I'm trying to tell you the story so you can understand that with your animation skill set, there's a other aspect that you need to grow and develop, which is your own self skills. Now, I started with that TV station, and there's another TV station I used to look at for ideas. In fact, I used to steal their ideas because they were really good, clean, solid. And so one day I was at a friend's place for a naming ceremony, and the CEO of that TV station was there. He recognized me from my band, which I played you the video, which is partly why I played you the video, because we were kind of well known in the UK. So he was like, oh, I know you, you're the drummer. Yeah. But by this time, Naming ceremony is finished. People are partying. Me, I'm having my own time of the month. You know, women know. I mean, my own time of the month is end of the month when you have to pay bills for a TV station. We're paying almost £100,000, and we have to make that money every month, and it was my responsibility. So while everybody is partying and enjoying, me, I bring out my laptop, trying to look at, okay, how much do we have? How much do we need to raise? How much? And so this CEO was a bit nosy. He was looking at my laptop and recognized some of the vendors, and he said, "Oh, do you work in TV?" I said, "Yes." I said, "Yes, I do." "What TV?" I told him. So, "Oh, you're that small guy that we're hearing about that is really doing a lot." I'm like, "Man, I'm doing okay, but what do you do?" He told me. I'm like, "Whoa, that's a great TV channel. I watch you guys." And he offered me a job there and then. He said, "Hey, if you want to join us, we'll pay you double of whatever they're paying you." I'm like, "Hey, let's do this." And so that's how I moved on to the next TV station that I started working at. Now, in the UK, TV isn't like Nigeria where people pay for airtime. You make your money from advertising. And the truth about it is that we're the minority. Whether you like it or not, as long as you're black, you're the minority. You only account for a small percentage of the population. So you only make a small percentage of the TV revenue. So I said to them, listen, airtime doesn't work. We need to start doing production. We need to start creating our own shows so that we can go and sell them to other stations that can't produce TV shows. There was no Netflix per se then. There was no Amazon Prime now that people are making content, going to rush and sell to. So that's how I started, coming back to the motherland, to Nigeria, because I then started coming to DSTV saying, hey, I've got some really great TV shows, some really great ideas I think you like. We want to sell to you, and they will buy. So let me just quickly play you some of the videos of some of the productions we were doing at the time. So I'm going to talk about, we're doing reality shows like Home Sweet Home, where we'll take a particular person back to their hometown and let them, tell us about their upbringing, or, like for instance, if I was doing that today, I'll take a Anthony Joshua, I'll bring him to Nigeria. I'll take him to Shrine. I'll take him to Suya Republic. I'll take him to all these other places and, get that sort of content. That's the kind of content that I would do, and then go and sell it to a African TV station in America. They would love it because they don't see him in that sort of way. We shot with, when Osas, who is now big, was still starting off. We're shooting stuff with them. We're doing TV shows. So, we're doing like this is a talent show. We're shooting it. We wanted to do something like X Factor, but for gospel people. And so this is it. This was Time to Shine. It's a gospel talent show. And this is another one, Niger Bites, where we had American superstars cooking Nigerian food. So if we're shooting this now, we're not shooting, I would have a Cardi B cooking Eforiro. This is Monique, from the Black Hollywood star. So just to give you the kind of content that we were doing, the kind of way that I was thinking, Nigerians then, it's not like now where Rema is doing with Selima Gomez, and no, there was no collaboration, transatlantic collaboration then. So that's why I decided that, I'll go to California, I'll go to Hollywood, I'll go to Atlanta, I'll shoot with Tyler Perry cooking jollof rice, I'll shoot with some music stars cooking Nigerian foods. And so when Nigerians see that on TV, they're like, wow, now everybody looks, like doesn't really rate that because Burna is doing collaboration with this, Ashake is doing with that. But then there was nothing like that. So that was the kind of stuff we were doing on TV at the time. Now, from there on, I started getting invited to come to Nigeria. Now, there's a friend of mine, his name is Ayo Animashaun, and he owns a TV station, Hip TV. And so at the time, he wanted to start a TV station. And he knew that I had been involved in starting some TV station. In fact, I was doing some work for a competitor, Channel O. And so we were like, yeah, cool, let's help you out. We helped to build it up, myself and my CEO at the time. So Hip TV played out of my office in London for the first 2 years. Everything you're watching in DSTV here was played out of our office in London. But then when like the Basket Mouse, AY, people would come and do shows in London, we would be the one to produce it. So when they came to Nigeria, they would talk like, people would say, oh, your content looks great. Who's doing it? They'll say, it's these guys. So we started getting invited to Nigeria. At the time, and I call her Auntie Mo, but a lady called Mo Abudu started also delving into films. She did a film called 50 and she had some problems with it. And again, in London, we're the only people in that space. So they will come to us. So she came to us. I helped her to sort it out and we became good friends. So when she wanted to start a TV channel, she consulted with us as well. And so when I came to Nigeria, I'll touch base, work with some of these people. And that's basically how my journey back to Nigeria started. You know, I remember we would do the AY live shows. We came in for the AY live shows. But, you know, I again, this is what I mentioned earlier. If someone offers you an amazing opportunity, but you're not sure if you can do it, say yes, then learn to do it later. So for me, my transition to Nigeria was mainly for the following projects. Hip TV, I came in and I helped to build his studio. I think I recognized some guys on here. One of the really great guys that we worked with at the time, a guy called Yemi. I think he's online. I saw him hit me up. I came in and we helped to build a studio. We helped to create content. I remember one of the content that we did was we filmed the Tiwa Savage wedding in those days. But the way we filmed it was so cinematic that is how wedding videographers are now shooting. But this is 10 years ago. And then I got invited by The Experience. I got invited by The Experience to come because they were doing The Experience at that time, but they didn't have like strong after event videos. So I thought, wow, okay, great. Okay, what can we do differently? So we came in and we decided to shoot a video.
When we come out on the stage, you see the multitudes of people changes your life forever.
There is a seasoned anointing that each and every artist, every musician that carries these mantles of healing and deliverance.
Coming here, I've never seen as many people ever in my life anywhere except me in March.
Truly is an experience that you don't want to miss.
So I'm going to leave that on while I just talk underneath it. So we came and we started shooting videos like this for The Experience. The interviews you saw there was in a hotel room. This interview you can see in a hotel room, but we lit it, we did it, made it look nice. This interview. So we actually proved ourselves. And so when we're able to prove ourselves, I remember the pastors, they saw it, they were like, what? Wow, this is amazing. And so we then started directing the live broadcast. And so for the live streaming and live broadcast for it, I found myself directing the live broadcast of one of the biggest, if not the biggest show in Africa. So the point is this, you're given a small opportunity and then the next thing you get is people's confidence. If you deliver right, people are confident in you and they will listen to you when you give further ideas. That's point number 2. Deliver on the small things so that you can give bigger ideas on the big things and people will take you for it. I'll tell you how that worked for me again. So again, like I said, I came into The Experience. We did the Giddy Fest. Then a good friend of mine, Chino KK, gave me the opportunity to work on the festival. And that really helped me to get a lot more production experience on festival events. Now, that being said, the next time, when we did that year, the next time we came back for The Experience, I was like, forget this. We need to start flying drones. There was no drones in The Experience that time. We need to start flying drones for this year. And so they're like, okay, yeah, sure. This is what the video looked like. This is what the video looked like. You can see the drone shots of The Experience and that. So now, the point is this. When we brought the ideas for a drone, they could have said, over 800,000 people, if the drone falls, no, we can't. But they saw what we had delivered previously, and they gave that opportunity. And so, for me, I realized that I was coming to Nigeria a lot. And so, I had to do a few things, and here they were. I had to set up a company, and my company is called Elite Media Pro. The reason is, every time I used to come, I used to go back. By the time I come back, some equipment would have gone missing. So I was like, what's going on? All the equipment I used money to bring from London was going missing. So I had to. Now, it meant that I had to shift base totally to another country and to start my business. Now, guys, in this journey in your career, it will require you to make some bold decisions. You have to believe in yourself. When everybody is jackpotting the other way from Nigeria to wherever, I was deciding to come back this way because I believed in the opportunity and the expertise that was lacking in here. I believed that I could fill that gap. It was not easy. I didn't have a godfather that would help me set up. I didn't have a sugar mommy that would be financing me or a sponsor that would be financing me. I remember I used to come in, I used to stay in hotels. Like this client would say, oh, stay here. Eventually, till I built it up, I managed to get a place. I managed to buy a car. But I used to invest in myself, equipment, and so on and so forth. So please take this on. In this journey for careers, you will need to make those decisions. Be bold about it. You only live once, I'm telling you. 2 is this. I realized that if I'm going to make a difference in Nigeria, I needed to think out of the box. What hasn't been done? See, Nigerians love anything new. If you look across the board, restaurants, you start a new restaurant today, everybody will flock there. Ah, nice. The moment a new restaurant comes that they're doing like smoking, they drink, everybody is rushing there. So everybody is trying, innovation is what sells. In fact, they will leave that first restaurant. You won't believe that this was the restaurant that was well packed and always full. So I realized that this is what Nigerians are. They have no loyalty apart from to innovation. That is what Nigerians want. They want the freshest, the newest, the bestest. So I realized that whatever I do, I have to make sure that I'm innovative in it. So by that time, I had started doing some video coverage. I haven't gone to animation yet. Video coverage for GT Bank. Their event will come, set up cameras, cover the event, and we will go. But then I decided that the way we will cover this event, it needs to look like crazy. I don't want it to look like the usual stuff that the Nigerians are doing, maybe in one. But so we started changing the way we cut it, made it look like music videos. Yet it was an event, and they loved that. Now, what did that do? That innovative approach to it got me a seat at the table. When I say a seat at the table, I looked at the GT Bank fashion show. Okay, and let me see if I've got yes. This was what the GT Bank fashion show looked like. We were covering it then. So what they called me for is come and point camera and shoot and cover. So now I'm now looking at the event. What can I bring to this table that's different? So I looked at the fashion show. I was like, this is very, very boring. It's got just a black background. It can be a lot more than this. It can be a lot better than this. So what did I do? Apart from the innovative thinking that I said, thinking out of the box, I began to research. I wanted to disrupt. I wanted to just do something that people would be like, oh, that's crazy. And then I found out about something called projection mapping. Now, this is where we're getting into animation here, guys. Projection mapping, right, is basically a technique that turns objects. Let me read what I wrote here. A technique that is used to turn objects, often irregular shaped, into display surfaces for projection. The objective is to put an optical illusion by putting visual content on volumes. My friend, the English there is a lot. Let me explain to you what it is, because some of you already do this but don't realize it. In churches, you have a projector that projects onto a wall, the lyrics onto a wall. That in itself is projection. All that's different is that projection mapping is sometimes it's not just a flat surface. It can be a cube, like I showed in this place. Can you see how the cube is projected on? Now, if you're looking at it like a big cube, it will look amazing because, it's just a matter of rather than a flat surface, there's a lot of different, levels to the cube. So that's basically what projection mapping is. You project on objects. Now, I researched into it. I was like, wow, this is crazy. Now, is anybody doing this in Lagos? There was a company doing it in Lagos. I'm not going to say the name of the company. But I came in and I was like, one thing as well that I don't like is when people make something look like rocket science and it's not. It's not easy, but it's always doable. Another thing I will say to you, I'll bring this up later, is one of those proverbs, if I can say, that stayed with me for a long time in my life is one by Nelson Mandela. It says, it always seems impossible until somebody else comes and does it. So you can give as many excuses as you want. People would say, okay, yes, it can't be done. The day somebody comes and does it, forget it, you're done. That is the end of it for you. Everybody's forgetting about you. Nobody's going to remember you. So you might as well be the one to do it. Once upon a time, nobody would have thought that Afrobeat could cross over till D'banj did Oliver. everybody was like, no, Americans don't like us. In fact, people used to dress like the Americans. Now everybody want to be like us, you know? So you might as well be the one that did it. Anyways, I started researching about this projection mapping. And I realized that projection mapping is basically a situation where you can project onto just a white wall. There's always a white wall, and you can just transform it. So in context of an event, let me show you this video. This is a white wall, as you can see. But if you set up projections on it, okay, so there's some people that do projection mapping. That's great. I can see in the text. You can transform a white hall into that. I'll just play that again. You can transform a white hall into this. Just basically just project your animated stuff on it, and boom, it's there. It transforms it. Okay, so that's basically projection mapping. And so I thought to myself, I need to find out about this. I can do animation, you know, I can do animation already. So it's just a matter of taking the animation that I can do, check out what I want to get, the size of where I want to project on, and put it on it. So that is the basic, you know, basic idea of it. But let me show you a video that makes you understand at expert level projection mapping. Typically, they do projection on big buildings. So it's not your church screen. Oh, no, this is like the front of your church building. They'll project on it and they'll transform it. Have a look at this video, and I'll just talk you through it as I speak. So this is a top 11 that I feel is, you know, so this is a place in Romania. That's a building. That is a building that they're projecting on. And those are just animations, loops that they're projecting on. This is also a building, but it gives you the illusion that the building is crackling up or whatnot. Yet all they're doing is projecting footage on the building. This is another one. They're projecting animation footage on the building. You can see this, right? And at night, imagine what it looks. It looks amazing. This is on the cathedral. They're just projecting on it. This is a camera shot of it. This is in Sydney. You can see on the building. They're just projecting on the building. So I hope you can understand what I mean when I say projection mapping, because I wanted to open your mind. Some of you think animation is just about FX for movies and so on and so forth. Look at this. They're projecting lighting animation on a building, and look at that. That is basically what projection mapping is. Okay, it's projecting footage on buildings and so on and so forth. So this, having researched into this, I'm like, wow, this is amazing. This is crazy. When you both they try, I decided that forget it. We go bring them back to this Nigeria. So you can see on the buildings, you can just see it's just projection on the buildings. Imagine sitting in front of the Lekki Bridge, you know, for those of you in Lagos, and they're projecting on the bridge. So I decided that, whoa, great. I'm going to bring this back to Nigeria. So bear in mind, this is what the GT Bank fashion show looked like. And so I decided that, okay, you know what? I proposed to them like, hey, we can do a projection mapping on the back of the wall. And this is what it came out from looking like. So again, that was a false, oops, I just came off there, sorry. Again, this is a false wall. So at the bottom there, you can see the white wall that I built. We built just a background, a straight wall made from plasterboard, so it's not concrete. And then we carried on. And so this is what happens here. We built the facade, and then this is now what it looks like. Bear in mind, we went from, let me see, where is it? We went from this, whoa, Vidal. We went from this, and now we're now doing this. Now, the concept behind this was like, for each fashion person, okay, for each fashion person, they will have their own, what looks like a shop window. So as you can see here was Ejiro Amos Tafiri. We wanted her own to look like everybody's got their own shop in front, like, and then what you call it, the models, they walk out of it. So that's basically what we did. Everybody had their own shop. We were projecting, you know, sorry about the video. This was on my phone. That time I didn't realize, you know, that I would need such a footage in years to come to talk to people on Yappi mentoring. So basically, you can see we're projecting a video on it. We're projecting colors. You know, during the breaks, this is what we're playing. DJ is playing music. It looks a lot more dynamic. It looks a lot more, you know, colorful. You know, it's a real vibe. So, imagine you're going from that. We're going from that. You can see how this is unraveling. So this was my first ever projection mapping gig. All we just did was we did some animations. So we're going from what seemed like just this simple thing to this. Anyways, just because of time, I'm going to play you a few other videos. Now, from doing that, they were so happy with it. They were like, wow, this is smart. This is innovative. This is great. By the next year, I was like, let's not just do that small wall. Let's do the whole of the room. The whole of the room. And they were like, hey, Vidal, let's do it. Let's do it. And so this is what we did the next year. Okay, not sure what's going on with the audio, but okay. So you can see the animation. There's a screen that we're using to play a video.
Beauty is exquisite.
That screen was animated out.
More than that.
And it just keeps on going. Now, I'm going to leave this video on while I just talk to you guys about this. Now, when we did this one this year, they were like, hey, no, this guy, you've done your own bit. This is amazing. It's a great concept. No one else is doing this in Nigeria. We love it, And the amazing thing about this is that, sorry, I think someone said the voice isn't syncing with the mouth. Oh, is that me? Sorry, guys. Technicals. The amazing thing about this, I'll just take that up, is somebody was at the event, this GT event. In fact, I would say this, I got a call from one of my other clients. I'm not going to say the name. And it's like, hey, Vidal, our pastor's wife was at this event. They were saying, the walls were crashing, all this kind of stuff. Like, how did you do it? How did you do that? I said, okay, I've told you guys about these things since now. And because of what they saw, they then invited me to come and now redesign the production for that event. Again, your work will make room for you. Actions speak louder than words. When I work with people that work with me know that I don't want to hear how or why. I just want to judge by your results. The truth about it is this. When I get annoyed when maybe we're doing a big event and something goes wrong, I tell people like, you don't have the chance to explain to the thousands of people that are watching that, is one joker that went to go and trip the plug and the light went off, or is my guy that I told to do this and he forgot. You don't have that time. People will judge you by what you have. So anyway, that's my story about how I came to GT Bank and it became like a creative director. And over the different years, we started doing more animations, and it looked like this. And then it started getting to the point like, okay, Oga, we don't see all these things. What else can you do to make it, crazy? So I realized that, guy, we have to level up, as they say. So what did I do? We decided that we'll project on the wall like we do. However, can you see in this picture, there is a human being on this picture that we are projecting on. I decided that let's get a dancer. We will paint the dancer in white. Don't worry, we paid her enough so she agreed. Like, and if anyhow you want to pay me, red, paint it. But we painted her and she was dancing in front of this. I was looking for the video, but I couldn't find it. But you can see the point I'm making, which is that we're always pushing it out of the box. This didn't require me to go and study in the University of Oxford. It just meant that me thinking out of the box. What can we do? Having people dancing with projections over them, for them, it had never been done before. And so that was where I got with the GT, and the relationship has been developing. Bottom line is this: did I go and learn how to do projection mapping? No. I just researched online, found out about animations, thought with my brain, like, how do I move things? And that's why I want to encourage you guys. I've seen you guys, like I said, I've watched a lot of the sessions. In fact, I'll make a confession. My company is a partner with Yappi, and we've been producing these sessions. And it was last week that I was behind the scenes, so we can see the stream, we can see everything that's going on. And I could see the zeal, I could see the excitement, I could see the drive that the Yappians have online. I was looking at it and I was seeing the comments and I was like, hey, you know what? I want to be part of this. I want to be part of this. I love the vibe and the energy from these Yappians. And I just sent a message saying, hey guys, if you'd have me, please let me have a session to speak a little bit about, myself and how I can encourage these guys to think out the box. And they agreed, and I'm here today. So for me, it's a real pleasure to be here. But from there on, next time, guess what? The next time GT Bank, we're going to do an event outside the country.
When I say it's about to go down.
Who did they call? They called me. Hey, Vidal, we got this event. We know that you already produce, you already do this. Come and produce this in Ghana. It was the biggest event I've done in my life, a stadium gig, and so on and so forth. Anyways, that's that. So that gives you the idea. So that's what helped me to get here. Drive, determination, bold decisions, and also thinking outside the box. Now, let me move on to how you guys relate to this. Okay. Now, when I talked about this projection mapping, it seems like a whole lot of, it's not. Projection is usually just animation that you project on the wall, and either way, it looks amazing. Okay. So it's animated loops. Let me give you an example of some of the loops that we usually put in. For instance, this is an animation. This is an animation loop. You're just making the lights, animating the lights to come, different lights to come on at different times. And so what we'll do is, if we project this on the wall, already it makes the wall look like there's light in it. These are animated loops. Another example of an animated loop is this. As time goes on, you will learn to be able to do, you will learn to be able to do animations like this. This is just circles turning. Some people will be able to do this already. But for people that don't even know a lot, please don't panic. I was like, you don't panic. You will get there. Okay? Don't get intimidated by this. It's step by step. You understand, right? You will get there. But it's sessions like this that will vex you to go and look on YouTube and start, Googling how to make animated loops. That is the whole point of this. Okay, that's the whole point of this. And so, there's some events that we do. They give me a brief like, hey, the animation we want like an African type animation. And so we do stuff like this. So that's an example of some animation that, we do. Let me see. This thing it's not syncing. Let me see why that is. Check. 1, 2. Let's hope that it syncs. Anyways, let me not get distracted because time is fast spent. So again, this is an example of some animations that we do and we just put on. So animators out there, go and start thinking. It's not about the skills. It's about being smart. It's about being creative. I'm guaranteeing you there's animators that have been on this thing longer than I've been alive, but they haven't made the stretch that I've done. Likewise, I haven't made the stretch that some creative guys have done. So it's in your hands. It's not to you japa to the UK, and I'll give you some insight into this. Okay, another animation that you could do is some people can decide to do animation of a city landscape. And a lot of productions, you see stuff like this on the production backdrop because it looks great. It looks great, when there's performance behind it and, it's going on. Now, that's projection mapping. Now, to let you know that you have to be crazy in this industry, guess what some people did? I told you that typically to project on something, it has to be white. They decided, what is white? What can we do that will be different? Guess what they did? Check this out. On a wedding dress. They are projecting on a wedding dress. Imagine, for all you ladies there that are going to get married, you're there and they're projecting some crazy stuff on your wedding dress. Imagine how amazing this would look. Just look at that. A wedding dress, because it's white. So they just point projectors on it and they put some animated stuff on it and that's it. So again, like that is not enough. Another concept. Check this out. What does bakery have to do with animation? Somebody tell me. What does bakery have to do with flipping animation? Look, They're projecting on a cake. They're projecting on a wedding cake, for God's sakes. Imagine that. The name of the people. God, when? God, when? Anyways, let me not get too caught up in that. But the point is this. The point is that you can do anything. It's just about your mindset, okay? It's just about your mindset. Now, because projectors are also a bit tricky to handle, technology has moved on. So a lot of people do more LED screens now, and a lot of you would know about these LED screens. But guess what? You as animators, you work hand in hand with these screens because there's LED mapping. All they do is put loops behind the LED screens. So again, let me give you an example. I got invited to Atlanta to come and shoot a documentary around the Headies. That was last year. Somehow, the producer that was meant to dropped out, and I was one that produced and directed the Headies from head to toe. I had like something ridiculous, like 5 days to do it. Not the Headies I just went, the first one in Atlanta. That was not this year, the year before. And I'm not answering any questions, by the way, on why they moved it to America. That is a jam question for them. All me I did was came to come and work. But again, this is where the animation comes in. Now I'm gonna play for you a clip from that Headies, and we had to select the animation that will play behind Loja and even Ashake. So, for instance, just watch the screen behind Loja and you see the loops I'm talking about there. Here we go. I'm gonna cut that short because time is fast spent. But again, look how it looks. Imagine if there was nothing behind Loja than just lights. Look how it's made it just, you know how it's just made the whole thing look amazing. One of my favorite parts in this is a part in the show where I personally directed this bit. But again, I want to show you. Look at when the presenters, the next clip I'm going to show you, when the presenters are speaking, look at the background behind them. That is projection. And then on the top there, you will see the Headies. That is an animation. Everything you see there is animation. There's a very good guy, Benga Salu. Shout out to him. He's been doing the Headies animation. You guys should actually research about him. There's a lot of crazy guys in Nigeria. That's why I love Nigeria. Like all the things that I love these people are doing, they play. Nigerians are one of the baddest in whatever we do. Benga is serious. He did a lot of the animations and I did the mapping on the screens. But just to again show you how far, animation can take you beyond just for cinematic. This is event animation. Check it out.
On stage, Africa's latest sensational Ashake!
You can see the animation in the background there, right? The Headies, that animation there. An animator would have done this. That's what they're there for. You can see how it syncs to the lights. You can see how it syncs to the light. Okay, one of my favorite parts, still one of my favorites. The point I'm trying to make there is you can see the visual impact that all these loops and stuff happens. Now I'm going somewhere with this. Now, over time, I'm just going to play some of the events that I've worked on, and again, where loops really comes into play. This is one.
I'm just 19 years old. I'm a veteran. No matter how far this music takes me, no matter how much money I've made, no matter how much journeys I've filled, I would always come back home every fucking day.
Okay, sorry about that. Sorry for the French language there, but it just gives you an idea. I'll just play some of these other things. Now, this is one of Ashake. You can see the Ashake animation behind there. Again, that's animation. You know, we're paying people to make these animations. Those stars that are coming up, we're paying people to make those animations, okay? This is another thing that we did. A client wanted us to silhouette their logo is a house. And we created this house to be night and day, and we projected it. You know, so now, also, because a lot of you think animation is for CG. No, because of my experience in television, there's animation for TV. I'm trying to open your eyes to understand the opportunities that there are. There's animations for TV. Okay, for TV, we have openers, we have lower thirds, we have picture in picture. An example of that is, for those of you that like Premiership, a lot of times before the match starts, they will have something like this sort of graphics, where the players' graphics will come up. The players' graphics will come up. That's animation. They're paying people for this. They're looking for guys who can create that. You know, imagine you're doing it for even Super Sports, let alone Premier League. There's all of that. In television, there's things like, if you watch CNN, there's this animation of breaking news. We call it titles. There's a lot of TV channels out there that are looking for graphic animators to be able to do that. Currently, my current project is actually helping to launch a news channel. That's what we're working on. And these are the kind of assets that we're creating. You see where it says history in the making. They show it's playing, the logo, the breaking news. All of these things are animated in. You know, so for television, for instance, let me show you what I'm talking about. This, a lower third. Let me take a lower third. This is what a lower third is. What is disappearing? What shows our name and so on and so forth. You know, for some of the events that I've done, including the what do you call it? The inauguration for the governor, Governor Sanwo-Olu. This is one of the lower thirds that we created for him. So, you know, this is an animation. We needed an animator to animate this, okay? And so this is what we're talking about. If this is what you're doing, then this is great. You know, you can create animations. This is an example of a template that you can create. Now, it brings me into the other part of this, which is for proposals. Bringing to light what you're thinking. Often when I go into meetings and I go into productions, I want to show my clients before I create it what I will be doing. So I remember when I worked on the trophy, I created the trophy extra special band event. This was during the COVID time. I went there and they said, you do production. And I said, this is the stage I'm going to build. So I showed them this stage. And then this is what the stage looked like when we did it. But because they could see it before, they believed in it. This is what it looked like. So you can see the screens, you can see the screens. I was able to make them understand and believe it. That's what animation can do. You create renders of a stage. Again, one of the biggest jobs that one of my great guys, Del York, this is an animation render of an event that they were going to have. But they wanted to see what it would look like. So we needed an animator to do this for us. Again, this is another stage that we animated and showed the clients to say, this is what it will look like. Now, one of the biggest gigs that I did was for CNN in Nigeria, when they were coming to Nigeria to do something with Richard Quest and that. And again, I was able to show them this. Like, this is what we're going to do. The stage will be made from LED screens. It will just be LED screens. And they didn't understand LED screens, but when I showed them this, that's what they saw. And they're like, oh, we get it now. And then this is what the stage then looked like when we did it. Okay? It's not the clearest, but you can see the two people sitting on the stage. You can see the LED screen and that. I paid an animator to be able to create that for me. Okay, and so I'm looking for animators like you guys to be able to pay to be able to create those sort of renders for me. It's not only about CGX and whatnot. Now, I'm really running out of time. I'm going to crave your indulgence to please extend by 10 minutes so I can take some questions in a moment. But the biggest part of this is, how do you make money? That is what the cocoa of what I want to tell you. It's 5 o'clock. And so for some of you that need to go, yes, you can go. But this next 5 minutes is about how you make money. So I'm sure some of you will want to stay. Now, a lot of you guys have heard about Fiverr and Upwork. You know, those platforms are great because you as a person go on that platform and people come to you and say, hey, can you do this? Can you do that? Can you do this? Let's flip it. I'm going to show you some other platforms you may be aware of. But this platform is a platform that you'll be sleeping while making money as an animator. Now, here are a list of them. Videohive.net. I know a lot of you already know about Videohive. Videohive.net is a place where you go to download animation projects already. So if somebody says, I want an animation of a plane landing, and you can animate it, you quickly go on Videohive.net, search plane landing. Somebody would have done it, and then you then buy it, download it, and then you now alter it and submit as yours. It's all good, but it has been the other way around. There's iStock, there's Envato, and there's also YouTube. Now, let me explain to you what I mean. Now, on this Videohive, let me give you an example. This is an example of the website on Videohive.net. What animators do is they create animations. Like I said, maybe they might think, you know what? Something that people like a lot is a dynamic opener for programs. So they create animations and they go and submit it on this website. So this is an example, as you can see on this. There's one that's there for $12. If you download it, you pay $12 to download it. And you know what? The truth about it is, I use it sometimes because sometimes it saves me time. Rather than me spending a couple of hours to go and animate something, a client is paying me $1 million. Why am I $12? What's $12 to $1 million? Benny, download this thing. Let's work on it sharp. I download it and I just go and do my work. But guess what? There's an animator that I'm just paying $12 to. That the animator is probably somebody just chilling, watching Netflix, and $12 just entered his account. That is what I want to make you understand. Because guess what? This one, for instance, this graphics package here is just different graphic packages that you can use for intros and outros. Look at the price on it, $69, right? You can see that. Let me zoom in a bit more so you understand. Okay, let me zoom in a bit more, but so you understand what it is. $69. Cool. You can see the $69. Now, let me show you what the person is, what you get for that $69. Let me just show you. So apparently you get a whole lot of different things, you know. So for instance, it's got lots of minimalistic designs. This is what the guy did. You can do professional templates, slides. The guy shall put everything there, shall. And all the animations that he can do in this life, he has done it. Shapes, look, titles, colors, call outs, logo reviews, everything. The guy put it there, finish. And now price it at $69. So you that you're looking for a lower third, or you're looking for maybe a background to put on a LED screen, look, he's showing you can change colors. He's done it already. You can put a name there. Maybe you're doing for a show, you put Rema instead of Update 4.0. You know, it looks great already. The point I'm trying to make is this. Remember, it's $69, right? $69. Now, let me put this on. Look on the top left, how many sales this guy has made. This guy has made 25,000 sales of these things, meaning 25,000 people have downloaded that. That is so easy. In a country of 200 million, Nigeria alone, Ghana, another, the continent of Africa, and let's not even talk about USA, Europe, and this thing is globally available. 25,000 is nothing. 25,000 is nothing at all. Yet, from 25,000 people downloading at $69, look at how much the guy has made. $1.7 million. Jesus, what am I doing in my life? What am I doing in my life? What am I doing in my life? $1.7 million. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that on one product package? One product package. Guys, come on, man. Man, who said animators cannot make it? Are you guys with me? Like for me, this session is over. Oh. This session is over. So, like they say, they play, but it's out there for the taking. You can be in this same Nigeria, drop your animation, upload it, and stay in this Nigeria and be making $1.7 million. You don't have to go and be jackpotting to another country that you don't even know what it is. Guys, there is opportunities out there. It's about you. It's about how far you're ready to push the creative mind. Okay? It's about how far you're ready to push it. How far you want to be different. Think out of the box. I keep telling my friends, the reason that people call me on jobs is mainly for 3 things. One is this, 0% failure. Whatever I do, I work hard to make sure that I don't disappoint. So I have a 0% failure, record. I make sure if is do or die, because they will call you back. 2 is this. That thing I told you about, Nelson Mandela said, it always seems impossible till someone else comes and does it. I make sure that I don't give excuses. There's someone that I used to work with. When I ask him, why didn't we do it? Or why does that camera look like that? You say, hey, the camera is not good. It's always the camera's fault. Yet, somebody else, I'll send another guy, go and fix that camera. He'll fix it. After that, I don't call that guy anymore. I call the guy who does it. So be a doer. Don't be an excuse. Be a doer. I didn't have anything. I was in university, drumming, studying a course I didn't want to study, editing for one pastor, laptop showed me shege. I had to get someone to buy me a laptop. I could have sat there and said, you know what? I don't have a laptop. I'm waiting for maybe Yappi or Del to buy for me. I don't have this, I don't have that. But no, I'm a doer. I knew that, listen, nobody is helping me. Nobody is helping me unless I help myself. And so that's what I did. And I want to encourage you guys to do that. Thank God we've got people like Yappi who are empowering you with skills. The rest is up to you. And another thing about it is this counts a lot. This counts a lot. Fun is one of the most important and underrated ingredients in any successful venture. If you're not having fun, then it's probably time to call it quits and try something else. I say this because a lot of people are so focused on trying to make something a revenue earning for you. You don't have fun with it. And when you have fun with it is when you then start getting crazy with it. It's like musicians when they're freestyling. They're just having fun, but those freestyle videos have more likes than their original songs. You got to have fun with this animation. When you're having fun with this, like, let me even try this, let me even do this. That's where you discover like things that you never even thought you could do. Okay, so in summary for this, I would say this. You have all the resources. All you need is curiosity and determination, and just drive. Try to think out the box, bring something different, a different perspective or approach to the table. Be business driven. There are opportunities out there. You feel me? There are opportunities out there. Don't even play with it. Okay, no one is going to help you. You got to help yourself. So with that being said, I hope I've really been able to speak a bit about my journey and how I've been able to get to where I am. And I'm telling you, I'm going places, I know it. I've got goals that I set myself that I'm going to achieve, and by God's grace I will. And I really pray that you guys too, as you started this journey, that we will be hearing about you guys becoming millionaires. You will be hearing about you guys becoming, pioneers in animation, from days of small beginnings where you're wasting your data listening to one boring Vidal speak, to the days where you're also speaking where I am. I look forward to that. I believe it, because if I can do it, you can do it. Okay, so we've got a couple of minutes to take some questions. I hope I've not bored you. Please, you can put your questions and comments. And there, someone said my Instagram handle. Okay, so I'm not that heavy on Instagram. In fact, I took a lot of time out, because sometimes you got to take time out to focus. Again, guys, don't get caught up by social media. I take time out because when people don't see that, where's this guy? But when you come back, like literally killing it, the same people that missed you, they will join you. So, take time out sometimes to just take time and research, innovate and that. That being said, I am back on social media, Instagram. I will put my Instagram. I was thinking if I should or shouldn't, but I'll put my Instagram handle on here. It would be great to hear from you. It'd be great to make new friends. You can ask me questions. Listen, I'm an open book. I don't believe in hoarding knowledge. It's at Mr. Vidal Legend. Please, if you add me, just don't add. Send me a message. Hey, I'm a fellow Yappian. By that, you get automatic ad. If you don't, I'm scared of the social media. I don't just add people anyhow. So, hit me up on Instagram. Yeah, the Instagram is on there. They say we will all follow you. Okay, that's good. Yeah, any questions? Yeah, let's see who's out there. How do I contact you, Ezekiel Faize? I put my Instagram on there. Thanks for the lecture. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you. We all follow you. We will meet on set soon, I promise. I love that. Achievers concept. Come true. Come true. Let's do this. Okay. Great hearing from you. Thank you very much for the energy and vibe. Hey, I'm just echoing your energy and vibe, man. You guys got me here. I watched the energy that you guys come to these sessions, and I just had to be part of it. And thank you for letting me. I'm a 3D animator and AR creator. Please, what's the future for AR in Nigeria's media industry? Listen, I think, I'm not sure if you're talking about AI or AR, but AI is, I'm telling you, this is one of the untapped. So the thing about Nigeria is when it comes to technology, we are slightly behind. And I'll be honest with you, that's what gave me an edge. Because coming from the UK, I already was exposed to a lot of things. So when I came here, I was like, let's do this, let's do that. You asking this, there is a big future in AI, huge. Because you might not realize this, and some of you who travel a lot will know. For instance, our financial system framework is one of the most advanced. Yes, we have network issues and whatnot. But I'm telling you, you go to America, you go to the UK, to be doing USSD code, it's not there. They don't do that. You paying your bills through your app is just something that's coming. So we are at the forefront of cutting edge technology. It just takes us a while to get there. Now, if you're AI, I'm telling you this, start building your AI portfolio. Start building your animation portfolio so that a time will come, all it takes is one MD to say, hey, listen, there's AI. Why aren't we doing AI to be able to understand and predict people's bill paying? Who can do this for us? There's somebody online, or this girl has a great portfolio. This guy has a great portfolio. That's how it happens. I'm telling you. It's not always recruitment or go and be looking. Literally, it's things that people have seen on Instagram. Like, okay, you just put a little clip of your animations on Instagram. And I do it. I look on Instagram and I save a lot. There's people that I've contacted through Instagram for work, So you just keep sharpening your skills as an animator and an AI and try and be one of the pioneers, the forefront that people can say, yes, great. This person actually is ahead of the curve. It's untapped. It's huge for AI. How do you get connected with the right individuals in the diverse creative fields? It's networking. It's really networking. I'll tell a story. There's a guy here who I've seen. He's worked with me a couple of times, Yemi. I don't even remember how Yemi and I got, but he saw me, I think it was probably Hip TV, and he just said, hey, I'd like to work with you. I'm not sure if he got paid the first few times, but he was so diligent, he picked up so quick. He used to do a lot of work. You have to network. For instance, there's events coming up this December. December is the busiest time, I'm fortunate to be able to be working on a few of the shows. There's Afro Nation coming up. There's a GT Bank weekend. There's Afro Piano Fest. There's Flight Time Festival. There's Experience. There's a whole lot. My diary is kind of crazy. But hit me on Instagram and say, hey, you know what? I want to see if maybe there's some things that I can do on there. Or go to this event. When you go to the event, don't just go and stand by the stage. Go to the front of house where the technical people are. Speak and talk to them. Hey, I'm an upcoming animator. I would love to work with you. Be bold. If you know people online, I've mentioned one of the great guys. Approach them. Tell them you want to be an understudy. Networking is the way. I used to be so shy, but I've learned that it's your loss if you don't network. Okay, so just network, approach people. Please, do you have any recommendation on how to set up LED mapping system? All you need for LED mapping is a playout on your app on your laptop. They don't take a lot of CPU. So at basic, there's easy worship, which can just project lyrics and backgrounds. There's I'm trying to see the basic ones. At the top end is one called Resolume. Let me just put that mapping softwares. Resolume. Again, you can do this, and you can. Let me just. I'm sure you can download the demo version of Resolume. There is Pro Presenter for those who use Macs. But even you can start with as basic as PowerPoint and that, just to project, so you understand how projection works, and then you can take it from there. But the point about it is not just the projection aspect, it's the animation aspect. Do loops, create loops, put them on this platform, register on this platform. It's free. They'll just take a percentage of your income. Put them out there. $10 today, $20 tomorrow, $1 million next year. Hey, just remember to pay your tithes to my ministry. One more thing, Vidal, concerning projection mapping animation. I researched recently and I found a new secret and untapped knowledge. I don't mind getting paid. I just want to experiment. Hey, go ahead, experiment. That is the whole point of it. I think that's about it. I'm really conscious about time going. Cool. So again, for those of you that might, some people say they use Resolume. Do you use it to control lights? Do you use it to control video? Push it hard. Oh, augmented reality. Sorry. I just got that. Yes, augmented reality, big time. There is a huge market for it. In fact, I'm already doing some immersive videos, 360, and the next level I'm taking is 360 streaming. There's also augmented reality programs that we're looking to do. There's an idea that I have that I want to do with Samsung to do with educating people, using AR to educate young public school people. So augmented reality is huge. It's untapped, yes, definitely go into that. If you're into augmented reality, in fact, I want to network with you. So yes, just get into it. The sky's the limit. Final question. Is it wise to put your work on social media for hits and likes? Hey, you know what? I don't see anything wrong with it. Watermark it, because it's better than it being in your laptop and then maybe 2 or 3 people that you get to meet, you show them, than it being exposed to millions of people. The worst that will happen is this: they copy it, but you've got copyright. All these platforms also protect you. Go and watch the session from last week where they talk about intellectual property for you to understand how to trademark and register your content. Imagine a Brother Shaggy. Imagine a Brother Shaggy had skits, but he left it on his laptop. And he said, oh, no, I can't let people know that this, that, and the other. He won't be where he is today. So yeah, I'll say put it out there. Watermark it so that, nobody can just rip it and say it's yours. But put it out there. How do you get connected? Answer that question. Is it right to put yes? Answer that. Cool. Okay. And that being said, thank you very much. Please, what platform? What platforms? I got lost somewhere. Drone light projection. Yes, drone light projection is huge. That's another thing that I'm looking to bring in. Now you're thinking, the lever is working. I like it. Drone light projection. That's it, guys. Think outside the box. Okay, think outside the box. During the mapping, where's the projector? The projector is facing the building or whatever it is that you're now. The reason I say there are people that are called projectionists. Your own is to do the animation that will go on it. The projectionist will worry about where the projector goes and all of that kind of stuff. So just face your own area and you'll be good. This one from Mobile Platform Conference. We'll be glad to share the work with you. Great, let's do that. You need an understudy. Myself, I'm an understudy, but hey, we can work together. Yes, Resolume can be used to control lighting, DMX. It can be used to be even trigger videos on screen, as well as light, as well as a whole lot of stuff. Okay, guys, it's 17:18. Let's continue the conversation. I'm sure you guys will have a great session tomorrow. It's been a real pleasure. I want to thank you again. I want to thank Yappi and Del York and MasterCard for doing this. I wish you guys all the best in the future. Keep on yapping, Yappians. Stay blessed.
kájọ. Ìbéèrè dópin ilé ayé tá a wá yìí o. Ohun kan ṣoṣo ni à ń wá tá ò rí. Àlàáfíà nìkan ló lè tẹ́ wa lọ́rùn. Ẹni bá fẹ́ kó bọ́. Mo ti sọ̀rọ̀ tí mo ní sọ. Ìgbẹ́kẹ̀lé ènìyàn asán lórí asán ni. Ẹ fi ọ̀bọ̀ ṣe tí ó tọ́. Ohun rere tí à ń ṣe ló lè mú ayé tòrò. Rántí ọlọ́jọ́ tí ń kájọ. Kẹ́ni ohun tí à ń wá tí à ń fi yá jára wa. Tábà wo ló tún tá sí wo lọ́wọ́ sí. Àlàáfíà nìkan ló lè tẹ́ wa lọ́rùn. Ẹni bá fẹ́ kó bọ́. Mo ti sọ̀rọ̀